302 wins, 6 Super Bowl rings, more postseason victories than any coach in NFL history. And yet in January 2026, the Pro Football Hall of Fame refused to make him a first ballot inductee. 11 voters refused to vote for him, not because of what he did on the field, because of what he did off it. That man is Bill Belichick, and the fact that even his enemies cannot ignore him, even after retirement, even after everything, tells you something important. Well, you don't become the most controversial coach in NFL history by being ordinary. This is not a story about whether Belichick cheated. This is the story of how one coach rewrote the rules of football and forced the entire NFL to adapt to him. Bill Belichick grew up in Annapolis, Maryland, watching his father analyze film. His father, Steve Belichick, was a football scout who spent decades breaking down opponents on tape. Bill did not go to parties in college. He watched film. By the time he was 23, he was already working in the NFL as a special teams assistant for the Baltimore Colts, earning $25 a week. Not a salary, $25 a week. He spent the next 2 decades as an assistant, learning under Bill Parcells, to studying the game at a level most coaches never reach. When he finally got his first head coaching job with the Cleveland Browns in 1991, he failed, went 36-44, was fired. Most coaches never come back from that. Belichick came back and built the most dominant dynasty in the modern NFL. 20 consecutive winning seasons, 6 Super Bowls, a record that will likely never be matched in the salary cap era. This video is about how he did it, the tactics, the psychology, the obsession, and yes, the controversy that followed him every step of the way. January 1991, Super Bowl 25, the New York Giants versus the Buffalo Bills. The Bills had the most explosive offense in football, the no-huddle K-gun built around Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas. Defensive coordinators across the league had spent entire seasons trying to slow it down. Most failed. Bill Belichick didn't try to slow it down. He tried something nobody expected. He told his defense to let Thurman Thomas run the ball. Let him gain yards. Let him reach 100 yards. I do not stop the run. Linebacker Carl Banks remembered the moment in the film room. I thought it was a collective brain fart. Like, what are you talking about? We prided ourselves on not giving up 100-yard rushers, but then he reeled us back in and showed us the method to the madness. The method was simple. If the Bills were running the ball, they weren't throwing it. And Belichick believed Thurman Thomas as a runner was far less dangerous than the Bills' passing attack. So he gave up the run to eliminate the pass. The Giants played most of the game with just 2 defensive linemen, a formation the NFL had almost never seen at that level. The results were shocking. Buffalo converted just 1 of 8 third downs. They held the ball for only 19 minutes and 27 seconds. They scored 19 points. The Giants won the Super Bowl. Belichick's game plan was later placed in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, not as a souvenir, as a document. Evidence that something had happened in that game that the sport needed to remember. Bill Belichick was only 38 years old. From 2001 to 2007, Peyton Manning dominated the NFL. Every defense that faced him left the field confused and exhausted. His pre-snap communication, his ability to read defenses and change plays at the line, was faster than most defenses could react to, except one. In the 2003 AFC Championship game, Bill Belichick didn't try to confuse Manning. He made the game brutally simple and brutally physical. His cornerbacks jammed Indianapolis receivers at the line, pressing them, hitting them, disrupting the timing of every route Manning had spent the entire season perfecting. The Colts weren't used to that. Their offense was built on precision and spacing. Belichick removed both. Manning threw for 237 yards, 0 touchdowns. The Patriots won 24-14, ending one of the most dominant offensive seasons in NFL history. But the impact of that game didn't stop there. The following season, the NFL introduced a new emphasis on illegal contact penalties, largely because of what Belichick's defense had done to Manning's receivers. The league rewrote its rulebook in response to one coach's strategy. Think about what that means. Belichick's tactics were so effective that the NFL had to change the rules to stop other teams from copying them. September 2007, the Patriots are caught videotaping the New York Jets' defensive signals from an unauthorized location on the sideline. What followed was the biggest scandal in NFL history up to that point. The NFL fined Belichick $500,000, the maximum allowed by league rules and the largest fine ever imposed on a coach in league history. The Patriots were fined $250,000 and lost their first-round draft pick in 2008. Then at Commissioner Roger Goodell's direction, league officials went to the Patriots' facilities and physically destroyed the tapes. Destroyed, not confiscated, destroyed, which meant the full scope of what was on those tapes was never publicly known. Goodell later confirmed that Belichick told him the taping practices had begun in 2000, the year he became head coach, and continued through 2007. 7 years. The scandal did not stop the Patriots. That same season, they went 16-0 in the regular season, the first team in NFL history to finish undefeated. They scored more points than any team had ever scored. They were the most dominant team anyone had ever seen, and they had been cheating for 7 years. 7 years later, Deflategate, Tom Brady suspended, more fines, more draft picks gone, more destroyed evidence. Combined across all violations, the Patriots and Belichick were fined a total of $2.85 million and lost 4 draft picks, including 2 first-rounders, and through all of it, Belichick kept winning. Here's the question Belichick's critics ask most often. How much of the Patriots dynasty was Tom Brady, and how much was Bill Belichick? The first clue came in 2016. Brady was suspended for the first 4 games of the season. The Patriots still started 3-1 with a backup quarterback who had never started an NFL game. When Brady returned, they went 11-1 and reached the Super Bowl. But the more revealing moment came later. In 2020, Brady left New England and joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He immediately won a Super Bowl. Meanwhile, the Patriots finished 7-9, their first losing season in 20 years. That doesn't mean Belichick was nothing without Brady. What it means is that both were exceptional, and Belichick's genius was never dependent on one player. His weekly game plans were built entirely around the opponent. Sometimes that meant reinventing his defense from week to week. In Super Bowl 53, Belichick's defense held the Los Angeles Rams, one of the highest scoring offenses in football, to 3 points. 3 points. In a Super Bowl. Against an offense that had averaged 32 points per game that season, and that flexibility never stopped. Against Joe Burrow's Bengals, Belichick used cover 2 on more than half of all passing plays, a scheme he almost never used. Against Josh Allen and the Bills, he ran cover 1 on just 30% of snaps. Every opponent saw a different defense. There was no fixed system. There was only the most efficient way to beat the team in front of him that week. January 13, 2026, the Pro Football Hall of Fame Selection Committee voted. Bill Belichick did not receive the 40 votes required for first ballot induction. The reaction was immediate. LeBron James wrote online, "Ain't no way Bill Belichick ain't first ballot HOF. That's impossible, egregious, and quite frankly, disrespectful." Hall of Fame coach Jimmy Johnson called the decision flat out wrong. Former Patriots players described it as one of the most ridiculous decisions in sports history. And Belichick's supporters pointed out something even more remarkable. Even if you erased every win before the Spygate scandal in 2007, every single one, Belichick still won 3 Super Bowls, still had 14 double-digit win seasons, still won more games after Spygate than 22 of the 28 coaches currently in the Hall of Fame, including Vince Lombardi. That is the paradox of Bill Belichick. He is too accomplished to ignore and too controversial to fully celebrate. The NFL still cannot decide what he is. A cheat who happened to be brilliant, or a genius who went too far. What is not in dispute is this: no coach in the history of professional football has done what he did for as long as he did it. 6 Super Bowls, 20 consecutive winning seasons, a game plan placed in the Hall of Fame, league rules rewritten because of his tactics, a sport permanently reshaped by one man's obsession with winning. Whether that makes him the greatest coach of all time, or something more complicated, is still being debated. And the fact that the debate hasn't ended, that might be the most Belichick outcome possible. Bill Belichick started his NFL career earning $25 a week. He ended it with more wins than almost any coach who ever lived. He was fired once, accused of cheating twice, and built a dynasty that lasted 2 decades in a league designed to prevent dynasties from lasting at all. He changed the rules of football, as literally. He made opponents fear his game plans before the game was even played. He turned overlooked players into champions, and former champions into footnotes. We love him or hate him, and most of the NFL does both at the same time. There has never been anyone in a coaching hoodie who did what Bill Belichick did. If you want to see what obsession, preparation, and a complete refusal to be ordinary looks like over 24 years of football, you just watched it. If this video changed how you see Belichick, hit like. And if you want more deep stories about the people who shaped the NFL, subscribe.